Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I am John and the stock market's just shut, so I'm going to do my April portfolio update. It's been quite a strange month really overall, but it's been a positive one for me. It's been a positive one for a lot of people. I think the tariffs are starting to cool down a bit, but markets remain quite uncertain overall. So if we look at my overall performance, so for the month you can see that I'm up 2.4%, which is £6 difference for my portfolio anyway. It's just a small one, but for the year that now puts me up 5% overall. So I would say a very positive month. I'm happy with that, and we're going to start with my buys, sells, dividend income. So if we look at orders in April alone, I've finished my dividend portfolio, which I made a separate video on, which I'll link here now anyway. But I bought 5 stocks, which finished it off. So it was just roughly £6 of each stock after fees. So we got Chevron, Merck, Target, Qualcomm, and Novo Nordisk. And I also decided to add an extra £20 to my grab position. So I wasn't selling anything this month. I have sold stuff in the last few months, but I try not to sell where I can. And my dividend income for this month, I got 7 pence from Vici, 37 pence from Barclays, 44 pence from JP Morgan, 2 pence from Whitestone REIT, 2 pence from Agree Realty Income, and 3 pence from Gladstone Capital. These will hopefully slowly grow, but I'm going to turn that dividend portfolio into a compounding machine. So roughly £1 overall in the dividends, not too bad. That's just going to keep growing really as I keep adding to the portfolio. So we might as well start with my dividend pie. As you can see, the pie itself is down 2.8%, and this is mainly due to Novo Nordisk, I'm going to say. So their competitor Eli Lilly has been approved to have a weight loss drug, which isn't great, but there was strong recovery this week because I believe they've announced a partnership with Hims, the app, to distribute their fat loss drug that way, so that's going to be positive going forward. But overall, you can have a look. I'm up 6% on Merck, 5% on Qualcomm. I'm down on the REITs, especially Whitestone REIT. Gladstone Capital is down 10% as well. I'm just going to keep averaging the same amount in this every month, roughly £30 to £50 a month for now. Dollar cost average in every position, so it shouldn't really matter. And then if we go into my individual stocks, so we might as well go by value. So Grab for the last month is up 6.7%. They've just published their earnings yesterday, and there's quite a positive earnings report. So I'm happy to buy this. I'm going to say anything around the $4.50 mark. I expect this to come back down in the next month, 6 weeks, as the attention goes off it, but I'm just going to keep adding this share when it hits my price target. The FS impact is shafting me on a lot of stocks. Obviously the more I buy at this current rate, the more that will reduce. Next up is Microsoft. So I've got £50 in Microsoft at the minute, and it's up 4.5% this month. Quite a turbulent month, but that's more due to the market, not due to the stock performance itself. I'm not quite sure when the earnings are coming, but it'll be very soon. Yeah, I'm happy to keep Microsoft there. Next up is my only fund, which is the JP Morgan Global Growth and Income. For the last month, it's down 3%. I think when I get paid in April, this is going to be the one that I add to outside of my dividend pie. I just like this one. I'll bring up the holdings real quick. So if we look at the holdings for this fund, as you can see, there's quite a few Mag 7 companies at the top weight, which makes up 20% roughly. But the reason why I like this is because of how diversified it is per sector, and it's got a strong dividend yield. Whilst most of it's in the UK, it's got quite good exposure to the rest of the world. and this is my chosen fund. I prefer it over the S&P 500. Just has that little bit extra diversification that I'm looking for. The next one, which is Rolls-Royce, and I'm up 27% total for Rolls-Royce for the month. It's remained quite flat. I do want to add more to this position, but I'm not paying above 700 pence per share for it. That is my threshold. So I've added in alerts to let me know when I'm back down to that buying point, which is a good tip for everyone, is if you know at what point you want to enter back into the stock or purchase more, top up, add them alerts and you'll know when to buy it. But yeah, I want to hold this for at least 10-15 years, so I'll find any opportunity I can to add back into that. Next is Take-Two, which has had quite an immense month compared to a lot of other stocks, so it's up 10% in total. If the FX impact wasn't a thing, it'd be up 20% in total. I don't actually know why off the top of my head it's gone up. I know a lot of analysts have upgraded their price target for it, but I'm happy to see that in what has been quite a up and down month. Next up is Barclays, where I got quite a big dividend payment from, so that's up 3% this month. I've only got 6.5 shares of this. Maybe this might be one that I add to when I get paid as well, but it's just quite a steady one. Marks and Spencers is quite another good performer for this month, so it's up 9.5%. I didn't really add to it when I should have, so it was quite low. I was down like 15% at a time. I don't know why I waited. I've now lost a chance to add even more shares at a reduced rate, but I think this will keep growing, so I'll see where this goes in the next few weeks and possibly add into that one. And the final one is TKO Group Holdings. So the company which owns WWE has had WrestleMania, which they said was the highest gross and the highest attended. They broke all the records, so that's quite good news. I would be up 10%, but the FX impact is quite literally messing with my whole profit here, which is why it's important to keep dollar cost averaging into stocks through the good and through the bad times, because then stuff like the FX impact won't make much of a difference. Whilst I've only got a small amount of shares or fractional shares, it's going to make a big difference. But I'm quite bullish on this company overall, just because of how Netflix have now got WWE, so it's now hitting bigger audiences, which is just going to have a knock-on effect for all the other revenue streams. And obviously it's got UFC as well, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. And the WWE have acquired two new the established wrestling promotions outside of them to feed into their talent and their content, so that'll be interesting to see what happens off the back of that. But that has been how they've performed over the last month. I also want to take you into Snowball Analytics just to see where the dividends are coming. So this calendar maps out everything. So next month I'm expected to receive 7 pence in dividends, but over the year it maps it out by month, and I can see how much I'm getting monthly, my yield overall, and my daily dividend. But that's not really going to be important at these small amounts. If I also go onto my analytics for the dividends, I can see that my yield on cost is lower than the actual yield. But yeah, this just shows you even further how the dividends are performing, what I've received. It's quite a good one. I'm on the demo portfolio, so I would like to know if anyone is using Snowball Analytics and if you think it's worth a subscription, because that might be something I look into. But yeah, that has been it for my April portfolio performance review. So let me know how you've done this month, because it's been quite up and down. Everyone's got a different range of portfolios, so I'd like to see how people are doing, what your top stocks have been in terms of losses and gains for this month, because that'll be quite interesting. What you plan on buying in the month of May as it comes up. And if you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one.